At a time when Kenya is facing acute food shortage as a result of the current drought. Edwin John Mukora was in attendance.
In the wake of the adverse drought and food shortage ravaging the country, affecting more than 4 million Kenyans in 23 countries, Climate Story Lab Africa has brought together stakeholders from Kenya, Benin, Nigeria, Uganda and Tanzania in efforts for climate action in Africa.
That's what they are going to do, and that's what their children do.
The event furthered the conversation for the need to embrace alternative energy sources and advocating for environmental conservation, especially on curbing deforestation. Mudamba, the program's director at DocuBox, the East African Documentary Film Fund, emphasized on using film for storytelling in mitigating climate change and drought by sensitizing the communities.
And moving images is film, and because you're using film for impact, we have seen the kind of impact that film has been able to achieve. As an example, a film called Thank You for the Rain was able to go back to Mutomo in Kitui and be able to provide a dam which was built because of the film, which is taking care of over 250 families. That is something that the impact of film has brought. And then the planting of trees and the ecosystem around changing because of that dam, we are already mitigating against climate change.
Felix Mwaki from Kenya Climate Innovation Center has painted the picture of the extreme drought and food shortage situation the country is facing, advocating for technology and alternative use of resources to mitigate the climate change.
It is bad if you really go to places like coasts, if you go to northeastern, if you go to a number of other areas, not only other areas, actually if you go to the areas that where people thought actually they are good in terms of rainfall. And I'll give you an example in Meru. I mean, there's a lot of food insufficiency in a number of counties in Meru, including the Rakanidi. So the issue is, it is quite heavy, and people need to take these climate change issues very seriously and try to really think of alternative, adaptive ways that they can be able to adapt using the resources that we have. So, truth be told, it's quite bad.
Migori Senator Eddie Okech took the opportunity to urge communities to employ agriculture practices that are environmental friendly, while asking county governments to set aside a fund to be used to mitigate the food shortage situation in the country.
That most of our local communities still cut trees to be able to use them as firewood, and that alone is a very big economy. So what we need to make sure that we do is highlight the issue of climate change, so that local communities can know and have visibility in understanding climate change are increased. So it's a combination of government policy and community education that must continue to go on. Investment comes in, and then education also comes in to sensitize our people to be able to have the right practices.
As the environment pollution continues to contribute to climate change, which is causing food shortage as a result of drought in the country, it is the responsibility of the community and government to find alternative ways of using energy so as to solve these crises. Edwin John Mukora, Look Up TV.
Edwin John Mukora.